What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a early Friday morning edition of the Daily Juice podcast. This will drop on Thursday afternoon as I get on a plane and head back to Boston. So that's why we're taping this. My flight's at about 3 o'clock Pacific time, and then I get in because of the time change. I don't get in till like 11:30, and then I got to drive up to New Hampshire. So I'm getting in very, very late. So we're putting this out now for Friday. If you are watching this expecting Thursday, go and watch the Thursday episode of the Daily Juice podcast. This is the Friday, April the 25th episode of the Daily Juice podcast. Did I say my name? I'm Matt Perrault at Sports Talk Matt. All of my stuff, you guys can go and find it. All of my socials, go and follow me there if you care about such a thing. And Instagram will have the trip. Twitter really won't. I have like a self-imposed ban on myself while I'm on this vacation that I'm only going to be on my phone for 5 hours a day. I know that sounds like a lot, but for me, that's like nothing. I think I average like 13 hours a day or something like that on my phone. So I'm a little bit obsessed and a little bit of a problem. So I'm going to try to detox this. This is a detox trip for me. I'm not working at all. First time since July of 2020. I will not be doing a daily podcast. Even when I left the Juice for those 7 months, I was still doing a daily podcast. I was just doing my own version of the Daily Juice. So we came back, and now it's been consistent. So other than me being in the hospital, I've never gone more than 2 days in a row without producing a Daily Juice podcast since July of 2020. It is now April of 2025. So this will be different. This will be unique. I won't be betting. It's going to be wild. So I have no idea. I know there's sports betting in Jamaica. I know that there are casinos in Jamaica, but this is not going to be one of those trips. So this is a beach and rest and relaxation type of trip for me. So unplugging from the world, as they say, coming up. So I have no idea what we did yesterday. So I have no clue. But so like this, I have no idea. Like that was what we did. Sorry, 2 days ago. Sorry. This, I have no idea what this has done today. Red Sox game hasn't even started yet. So I don't know what the Red Sox game is. The Clipper game is hours away, and the draft equally is hours and hours away for us to go ahead and jump in with that. So before I give you guys the plays and what we're going to do here on a Friday, because there are some really cool opportunities for us to jump in on some things, let me tell you, remind you about the jersey giveaway going on right now for the Penny Hardaway signed jersey. If you've not subscribed to the BettingPros YouTube channel, absolutely do that and leave a comment on this very video, and you are entered into this Team USA signed Penny Hardaway jersey thanks to our friends at pristineauction.com. We are quickly approaching when that will be given away. If you've already entered it, keep entering. The more times you comment, the more entries you get in. That's how this thing works, right? Also, have you gone and entered into our NBA player prop contest? If you haven't, every round it resets. So just because you're getting in late here on the opening round doesn't mean you can't be there for the second round, third round. The grand prize is a signed Allen Iverson jersey. The player prop contest in round one will give you, if you win it, a Shawn Kemp signed jersey. Every round, picks, plays, compete for prizes, enter for free on the BettingPros app, or go to bettingpros.com/playoffs to enter into this prop contest for free. Shawn Kemp jersey round one, Allen Iverson jersey for the grand prize winner at the end in June when we get to the NBA Finals, which is kind of crazy to stop and think about. It's June for the NBA Finals, but that's what it is. Okay, let's start talking about Boston and Orlando. So we haven't really gotten involved yet with this series. Orlando at home this year was 26-16 to the under at home. Boston has played Orlando 3 times this year in the regular season. In this series, we're 1-1. Game 1 went under. It was 205 for Boston. 103-86, went under by 16 points. Game 2, it closed at 196.5. 109-100 was the final, over by 12.5 points in game number 2. We come in here with a 198.5 point total for Boston and Orlando, which is stupid low, except when you start to look at the last time Boston played in Orlando, end of the year, okay? So many players rested for Boston. They sat like the whole team. They scored 76 points. It was 96-76 with a 206 total. The game went under by 34 points. Now, will Jason Tatum play? I don't know. He's questionable. My gut tells me he will play. They sat him for game 2. Game 3 is going to be a charged environment, obviously, for the Magic being in the playoffs for the first time in a long time. This is going to be a defensive-focused game for the Orlando Magic. They're going to try to do everything in their power. This is their season, okay? This is it. They lose this game. They're down 3-0. See you later. Goodbye. Season over. Boston will win one game at some point. Maybe they lose game 4. But if Boston's going to lose a game in the series, this is the game they're going to lose. If they do lose this game, it's going under, okay? If you want to take the 5.5 points with Orlando, the game's going under. If you lay 5.5 with Boston on the road, the game's going over. Can Boston go there and win on the road? Absolutely. Can Boston go and have it go over on the road? Absolutely. But back on the 23rd of December, Boston played at Orlando. 214.5 was the total. Boston lost to Orlando 108-104. The game went under by 2.5 points. Now, this total is way lower than 214.5. It's 198.5. But I'm still going to play the under. I still think that you're going to get the best effort out of Orlando. They're going to get back to what they have done. And the Magic have been an under team at home, like we talked about, 26-16 to the under at home this year. Against the Eastern Conference, they went 29-26 to the under. Boston went 31-23 to the under as well against the Eastern Conference. On the road this year, Boston was 25-16. On the road to the under, and like we talked about, 26-16 at home for the Orlando Magic. We're going to come under 198.5 for Boston in Orlando in Game 3 of their best-of-7 series. Bet number 2. Let's talk about the Lakers and the T-Wolves. So the Timberwolves weren't great at home this year against the number, but this number is 3. I've told you guys I like Minnesota in this series to beat the Lakers. And game 1, we bet it. It went the way we thought. I'm betting game 3 the same way I bet game 1. I'm taking Minnesota. Why? Because I think you saw the game plan in game 1 that you're going to see here in game 3. Game 2 was a discombobulated mess. I think they'll throw that tape out and they'll completely go back to the drawing board when it comes to their offensive game plan. I think you're going to see a much better version of Anthony Edwards here tonight. I think you're going to see the rebounding go back to what it looked like in game 1 and not game 2. I think the defensive intensity on Luka will also be stepped up quite a bit here tonight. Minnesota this year at home wasn't great, like I mentioned, 17-23-1 at home ATS. That's not great. But the Lakers were 18-21-2 on the road this year. So both teams, Minnesota at home under 500, Lakers on the road under 500, but against the Western Conference, the Lakers were much better, 35-19 ATS this year. Minnesota was 29-25. When they were at home back on the 13th of December, Lakers got smacked. T-Wolves were laying 8.5. They won the game by 10, and they covered. A little bit later on in the year against the Lakers on the road at LA, Minnesota was catching 6. They lost by 9 against them. In this series, they've been dogs both games. They won the first game by 22 points. They lost game 2 by 9. They're favored for the first time here in this series, and I'm going to lay the 3. But I don't want 3.5. I want 1 possession, okay? I don't want this going 3.5, 4. Don't like it. I want 3, okay? Minnesota -3 up against the Lakers here at home. I think they win. I think they take a 2-1 lead here. And again, I think we're going to see a much better effort offensively and a much better game plan for the Timberwolves against the Lakers here in Game 3. Ride the home crowd. Keep them engaged. Keep them excited about what's going to happen here. They beat them back on the 2nd of December, by the way. They won by 29 points in Minnesota. So the T-Wolves have killed the Lakers, but that was before Luka showed up. So that was pre-Luka. So you got to kind of take that with a grain of salt here on this when it comes to what that game looked like. But with Luka in LA, they won by 22 points. So I like T-Wolves tonight -3. Okay, so those are our 2 plays here for the NBA. Boston, Orlando, under 198.5. T-Wolves -3 here, both for 1.1 units. The bet for hockey is pretty simplistic. I bet over in the first 2 games. Both have hit. I'm betting the over again. I'm going to keep betting the over until the books adjust. Now, they've adjusted to 6, opened at 5.5, immediately bet to 6. This is Edmonton at home. I mean, at LA, you might go, okay, and one of the games is going to go under. Nope, 6-2 final in game 2. Now we have game 3 in Edmonton. Do the Oilers win? Probably, but the Oilers do not, and I mean do not, play under games when they win, in particular in the playoffs. I don't trust Skinner at all, like not at all. He gave up 6 goals in both nights, 6 goals in game 1, 6 goals in game 2. He gives up 3 tonight. It could be a 4-3 win for the Oilers. Game goes over. I think that's probably the way to handicap it, is a 4-3 win here. Could go to overtime. We could see that, but Darcy Kemper has been, I mean, he was not good in the third period of game number 1. He was better in game 2, but he still gave up 2 goals. I mean, even in a win, gave up 2 goals. So this is like, bet this until the cows come home, right? Like, just keep on betting this until we get to a 6.5. And the books don't like going to 6.5 at all in the postseason. They think that's way too high for a playoff game. Open net, all sorts of, I mean, this is a great push potential. 4-2 final is very possible. If you find a 5.5, there was offshore numbers at 5.5, and I thought about giving that to you guys, but I was like, you know what? I don't want to do that. That's not, you can go and find, it's minus 135. It's expensive, but every legal book, quote unquote, here is at 6. So we're going to play it at 6 officially. But if you have access, wink, nod to that, 5.5 is a better number. So if you find 5.5, take 5.5. Even if it's juicy, take 5.5, because I think 4-2 final is really possible. But a push is fine, and no harm, no foul here. Over 6 for the Kings and the Oilers in game 3 of their best of 7 series. All right, so plays on Friday. Boston, Orlando, under 198.5. T-Wolves laying 3 at home in game 3 against the Lakers. And Edmonton and the LA Kings, we're going over 6 at minus 105 here on a Friday for us for hockey. Looking forward to seeing all of you guys in the Discord channel. I'll be on the Discord channel until I leave and go out of the country, and then I won't be on there all that much for about a week, but I'll try to pop on and say hi from time to time. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all of my socials at Sports Talk Matt every morning, wherever you guys get your podcasts. It is the Daily Juice.